If you've got one of these guns, let me be clear, don't sell it. Some firearms just keep going. They don't jam, they don't rust, and they don't drop in value. These are the legends, the tanks, the ones built so well, they'll still be firing when your grandkids inherit them. Today, we're counting down the 20 firearms you should hold on to at all costs. These aren't just guns, they're investments, heirlooms, and in some cases, pieces of history that you'll kick yourself for letting go. Whether you're a collector, shooter, or just someone who appreciates quality craftsmanship, you'll want to stick around. Trust me, this list might save you from making a $3,000 mistake. Let's get into it. Kicking off our list at number 20 is John Browning's final masterpiece, the High Power. Number 20, Browning High Power. Designed in the 1920s but still relevant nearly a century later, this is the handgun that influenced practically every modern pistol you see today. With FN officially discontinuing production in 2018, these things are only going up in value. What was once a standard-issue military sidearm has now become a collector's item practically overnight. Pros: exceptional ergonomics with that signature grip angle that just points naturally, that buttery smooth single-action trigger that breaks like glass, 13-round capacity, which was revolutionary when it came out, reliability that borders on supernatural. These things run through anything, historical significance. It served in over 50 armies worldwide. Cons: the notorious hammer bite issue on original models. Magazine disconnect safety can make the trigger feel mushy. Older models lack modern features like accessory rails. Here's the thing about the High Power, they just don't make them anymore. At least not the authentic FN versions. Sure, you can find clones, but original Belgian or Portuguese contract High Powers, those are becoming unicorns. If you're lucky enough to have one, especially a pre-70s model, hang on to it. Your future self will thank you when they're selling for double what they go for today. At number 19, we've got what many consider to be the gold standard of combat handguns, the SIG Sauer P226. Number 19, SIG Sauer P226. When the Navy SEALs chose this as their official sidearm back in the 80s, they weren't just picking a gun. They were making a statement about reliability under the most extreme conditions imaginable. Saltwater, sand, mud, nothing stops a well-maintained P226. Pros: tank-like durability with a service life that can exceed 100,000 rounds. That signature SIG accuracy. These guns shoot where you point them. Exceptional reliability in adverse conditions, incredibly smooth DA-say action, deep aftermarket support for parts and upgrades. Cons: higher bore axis leads to slightly more felt recoil compared to some competitors, heavier than polymer alternatives, premium price tag that's only getting steeper. While SIG still makes the P226, they've gone through numerous changes over the years. The early West German models, particularly those with the stamped slides, have become highly sought after by collectors. And with SIG constantly updating their lineup, who knows when they'll decide to discontinue this classic? Trust me, if you've got one, especially an older model or a Navy SEAL commemorative version, lock it away. That thing is a retirement fund disguised as a pistol. Coming in at number 18 is German engineering at its finest, the HK-USP. Number 18, HK-USP. This tank of a handgun was designed to meet the most rigorous military requirements, including the ability to fire over 20,000 rounds of high-pressure plus P+ ammunition without a failure. Let that sink in. Pros: legendary durability. These things are practically indestructible. Recoil reduction system that makes even .45 ACP feel manageable. Modular design with interchangeable parts. Ambidextrous controls available. Exceptional accuracy for a service pistol. Cons: chunky grip can be a bit much for smaller hands. Higher price point than many competitors. Early models lack modern features like Picatinny rails. What makes the USP special isn't just its reliability, though that would be enough. It's the innovation packed into every model. The recoil reduction system alone was revolutionary when it debuted. The USP has become a cultural icon too, featured in countless movies, video games, and TV shows. and while they're still in production, certain variants like the Expert and Elite models have become harder to find. At number 17, we've got what might be the most practical handgun ever created, the Glock 19, specifically the Gen 5. Number 17, Glock 19 Gen 5. Now, I know what you're thinking. Glocks are everywhere. Why would I never sell one? And normally, you'd be right. But the Gen 5 represents what might be the pinnacle of Glock's design evolution. Pros: marksman barrel that delivers significantly improved accuracy, flared magwell for faster reloads, removed finger grooves for better ergonomics, ambidextrous slide stop for lefties, NDLC finish that's more durable than previous generations. Cons: less aftermarket support than Gen 3 or Gen 4, though this is improving, still has that Glock trigger feel that some shooters don't love. Aesthetically, it's still a Glock, not winning any beauty contests. Here's the thing about Glock: they're always improving their designs. And while that sounds great, sometimes these improvements aren't actually better, just different. The Gen 5 represents the culmination of decades of user feedback and engineering refinements. With rumors always circulating about a Gen 6 or even Glock moving to a whole new platform eventually, the Gen 5 might represent the high watermark of the classic Glock design. If you've got one, especially an MOS version or one of the limited editions, hold on to it. Coming in at number 16 is something completely different: the Trailblazer LifeCard .2 2LR. Number 16, LifeCard .2 2LR. This isn't your typical never-sell gun based on reliability or tradition. This is a never-sell based on pure innovation and uniqueness. The LifeCard folds up to the size of a credit card but unfolds into a functional .22LR single-shot pistol. Pros: incredibly concealable at just 0.5 inches thick when folded, all-metal construction with aircraft-grade aluminum, surprisingly good build quality for such a novel design, serious conversation starter and collection piece, limited production runs make it collectible. Cons: single shot only, .22. LR is hardly a defensive caliber, awkward to operate quickly, more of a novelty than a practical firearm. When the LifeCard first hit the market, people didn't know what to make of it. Was it a gimmick, a serious tool? Years later, it's proven to be somewhere in between, a genuinely innovative design that created its own category. With Trailblazer being a smaller manufacturer and the LifeCard being such a unique item, there's no guarantee they'll keep making these forever. If you've managed to get your hands on one, especially a first-generation model, keep it sealed in the box. These things are only going to get more interesting to collectors as time goes on. At number 15, we have what might be the most recognizable 9mm handgun in the world, the Beretta 92 FS. Number 15, Beretta 92 FS. Made famous by its adoption as the M9 service pistol for the U.S. military and its starring role in countless action movies, the 92 FS represents Italian craftsmanship at its finest. Pros: iconic open slide design that reduces jamming, buttery smooth action with one of the best DASA triggers in production, exceptional accuracy for a service pistol, 15+1 capacity in a full-size frame, rock-solid reliability when properly maintained. Cons: large grip can be challenging for smaller hands, heavy compared to polymer alternatives, exposed barrel can collect debris in extreme conditions. What makes the 92 FS special isn't just its reliability or its looks, though both are exceptional. It's the generational staying power. This is a design that's remained relevant from the 1970s through today, and with the U.S. military moving on to the SIG M17/M18 platform, original 92 FS models are becoming increasingly collectible. Military surplus M9s are already commanding premium prices. If you've got a 92 FS, especially an older Italian-made model or one with military markings, that's not just a gun. It's an investment that's gaining value every year. Number 14, Remington 870. Coming in at number 14 is quite possibly the most versatile shotgun ever made, the Remington 870. With over 11 million produced since 1950, you might wonder why I'd include such a common shotgun on this list. The answer is simple. Post-2007 Freedom Group acquisition, the quality took a nosedive, and with Remington's bankruptcy and restructuring, pre-Freedom Group 870s have become highly desirable. Pros: legendary reliability that's become the industry standard, incredible versatility from home defense to hunting to competition, massive aftermarket support for parts and accessories, simple design that's easy to maintain and repair, rock-solid action that cycles everything from light target loads to magnum buckshot. Cons: newer production models have quality control issues. Basic models lack the refinement of more expensive shotguns. Stock LOP can be long for smaller shooters. The 870 represents American manufacturing at its peak. The older models, particularly the Wingmasters made before 2007, were built to a standard, not a price point. The machining, the fit and finish, the attention to detail, these aspects have been gradually eroded over time. If you've got a pre-Freedom Group 870, especially a Wingmaster or police model, hang on to it. They simply don't make them like that anymore, and collectors are starting to notice. Number 13. Luger P08. At number 13, we have what might be the most recognizable handgun silhouette in history, the Luger P08. This isn't just a gun, it's a piece of history. Designed in the late 1890s and serving as Germany's standard sidearm through 2 world wars, the Luger represents mechanical artistry from an era when firearms were still hand-fitted by master gunsmiths. Pros: iconic toggle lock action that's mesmerizing to watch, exceptional accuracy due to fixed barrel design, surprisingly ergonomic grip angle that points naturally, historical significance spanning multiple world conflicts, mechanical precision that rivals modern manufacturing. Cons: complex mechanism that requires more maintenance than modern designs, ammo sensitive, especially with modern loads, replacement parts can be difficult to find, not suitable for regular shooting use if it's a historical specimen. What makes the Luger special isn't just its historical significance, though that would be enough. It's the mechanical ingenuity. The toggle lock action is like watching a mechanical ballet every time you fire it. And let's be real, Lugers aren't getting any more common. Production ended decades ago, and every year fewer examples remain in collectible condition. If you've got one, especially with matching numbers or military markings, that's an heirloom that should stay in your family for generations. Number 12. Beretta M9A4. At number 12, we've got what might be the pinnacle of the Beretta 92 series evolution, the M9A4. Taking everything that made the classic 92 FS great and bringing it into the modern era, the M9A4 represents Beretta's answer to those who claimed the platform couldn't evolve. Pros: factory optics ready slide for mounting red dots, improved Vertec grip profile for better ergonomics, enhanced front and rear slide serrations, threaded barrel for suppressors, updated G decocker configuration, 18-round factory magazine. Cons: premium price point over standard 92 models, still heavier than polymer competitors, full size only, no compact version, yet. What makes the M9A4 special is that it might represent the final evolution of the 92 platform. With Beretta focusing more on the APX line for future military contracts, the golden age of 92 development might be coming to a close. The M9A4 takes everything great about the original design and addresses virtually every criticism leveled against it over the decades. This is the 92nd that enthusiasts have been asking for. If you've managed to get your hands on one, especially one of the FDE models or limited editions, keep it. This might be the high water mark for one of the most iconic handgun designs in history. Number 11. Smith & Wesson Model 29. Do you feel lucky, punk? At number 11, we've got the revolver that Dirty Harry made famous, the Smith & Wesson Model 29 in .44 Magnum. When it was introduced in 1955, the Model 29 was the most powerful production handgun in the world. Nearly 7 decades later, it remains an icon of American firearm manufacturing. Pros: gorgeous bluing that modern production can't match, Hand-fitted action with butter-smooth trigger pull, incredible accuracy for a large-frame revolver, powerful .44, magnum cartridge suitable for hunting, cultural significance that transcends shooting circles. Cons: significant recoil, not suitable for beginners. Modern production lacks the hand-fitting of vintage models. Heavy for everyday carry. Limited capacity compared to semi-autos. What makes the Model 29 special isn't just its power or its movie fame, it's the craftsmanship. The pre-1982 models featured hand polishing and fitting that modern production methods simply can't replicate at scale. And with S&W constantly changing their production methods and occasionally discontinuing models, original pinned and recessed Model 29s from the 1950s to 1970s have become highly sought after by collectors. If you've got a Model 29, especially a pre-1982 pinned and recessed model with the original box, that's not just a gun, that's a blue-chip investment that continues to appreciate year after year. Number 10. Colt Python. Breaking into our top 10 at number 10 is what many consider to be the finest production revolver ever made, the Colt Python. Often called the Rolls-Royce of revolvers, the Python represents the pinnacle of Colt's double-action revolver craftsmanship. Each one was hand-fitted by master gunsmiths in an era when labor costs didn't dictate corners being cut. Pros: legendary royal blue finish that's unmatched in the industry. The smoothest factory double-action trigger ever produced. Incredible accuracy thanks to precise barrel-to-cylinder alignment. Distinctive ventilated rib that adds to its iconic profile. Premium walnut grips that feel like they were custom-made for your hand. Cons: original models require skilled gunsmithing for maintenance. Timing issues can develop if shot extensively. Modern reproductions don't match the quality of originals. Prohibitively expensive in today's market, Colt discontinued the original Python in 2005, creating a vacuum in the market that drove prices through the roof. And while they reintroduced it in 2020, the new models simply can't match the hand-fitted craftsmanship of the originals. If you're lucky enough to own an original Python, especially a 4-inch or 6-inch barrel model in royal blue from the 1960s or 70s, you've got something special. These have appreciated faster than gold over the past 2 decades, with pristine examples now selling for 5 to 10 times their original retail price. At number 9, we have what's often called the rifleman's rifle, the pre-1964 Winchester Model 70. This isn't just a hunting rifle, it's a benchmark against which all other bolt actions are measured. Before 1964, each Model 70 was machined from forged steel and hand-fitted by skilled craftsmen who took pride in their work. Pros: controlled round feed action that won't fail under pressure, hand-bedded stocks that provide exceptional accuracy, 3-position safety that's intuitive and reliable, butter-smooth bolt throw that cycles effortlessly, exceptional machining quality that modern mass production can't match. Cons: vintage stocks can be more fragile than modern synthetics. Replacement parts for specific variants can be difficult to find, heavier than modern ultralight hunting rifles. Original scopes may not match modern optical performance. In 1964, Winchester changed their production methods to cut costs, creating a clear dividing line in the collector market. Pre-64 Model 70s instantly became more desirable, and that gap has only widened over time. If you've got a pre-64 Model 70, especially in desirable calibers like .306 or .270 Winchester with the original stock, you're holding a piece of American manufacturing history that continues to appreciate in value. These aren't just guns, they're investments that you can also take hunting. Coming in at number 8 is a variant that many people don't even know exists, the Ruger Mini 14 GB government military model. While standard Mini 14S are common, the GB model was produced in limited numbers primarily for law enforcement and military contracts. What makes it special are features you simply can't get on civilian models today: a flash hider, bayonet lug, and often a folding stock. Pros: reliability that matches or exceeds the AR platform, accepts standard AR magazines with newer models, classic wood and steel construction, heat-dissipating barrel shroud. Military features no longer available on production models. Cons: not as accurate as modern AR-15s without modifications, limited aftermarket support compared to AR platform, heavier than equivalent modern rifles, proprietary parts for some components. Ruger discontinued the GB model years ago, largely due to changing assault weapon legislation. This created an instant collector's item that continues to appreciate in value. What makes these special isn't just their scarcity. It's that you literally cannot build one from scratch today due to regulation changes. If you've got a mini 14 gigabytes, especially with the factory folding stock and original accessories, hold on to it. They regularly sell for 3 to 4 times what standard mini 14s go for. Number 7. Thompson Center Contender. At number 7, we have what might be the most versatile hunting handgun ever created, the Thompson Center Contender. This isn't just a handgun, it's a system, with interchangeable barrels spanning dozens of calibers from .22 LR to .45 70 government. The Contender represents a concept that's increasingly rare in today's specialized market, one gun that can do almost anything. Pros: incredible accuracy that rivals many rifles, interchangeable barrel system allowing multiple calibers, break-action simplicity with no complicated parts to fail, adjustable trigger that breaks like glass, configurations legal in areas with restrictions on hunting with semi-autos. Cons: single shot only, heavy for field carry compared to modern options, original wood stocks can be fragile, significant recoil in larger calibers with standard grips. Thompson Charge Center discontinued the original Contender in 2000, replacing it with the Encore. While the Encore is a fine firearm, it lacks the elegant simplicity and perfect balance of the original. What makes the Contender special isn't just its versatility, it's the craftsmanship. Each one was built to bench rest accuracy standards, making them capable of precision that was unheard of in handguns of that era. If you've got an original Contender, especially with multiple barrel sets or rare calibers, keep it. They're only getting harder to find, and certain barrel configurations now sell for more than the entire gun cost originally. Number 6. FNFAL. Breaking into our top 6 at number 6 is what was once called the right arm of the free world, the FNFAL. This isn't just a battle rifle, it's a piece of Cold War history. Adopted by over 90 countries and serving in conflicts on every continent, the FAL represents a level of engineering and reliability that set the standard for an entire generation of military firearms. Pros: exceptional reliability under adverse conditions, powerful 7.62 NATO cartridge with effective range beyond 600 meters, adjustable gas system that can be tuned for different ammunition, simple field stripping for maintenance, historical significance spanning decades of global conflicts. Cons: heavy compared to modern battle rifles, recoil can be substantial with full power loads, limited import availability due to various bans, parts compatibility issues between different country variant. What makes the FAL special isn't just its historical significance, though that would be enough. It's the fact that genuine examples are increasingly difficult to find in the US market. Import restrictions and parts kit limitations have made authentic FALs more valuable every year. If you've got a genuine FAL, especially a pre-ban import or a properly built kit on an original receiver, that's not just a rifle, it's an investment. These have already doubled or tripled in value over the past decade, and that trend shows no signs of slowing. Number 5. Walther PPK. At number 5, we have the handgun that helped defeat fascism and later became James Bond's signature weapon, the Walther PPK. This isn't just a concealed carry piece, it's a cultural icon. Designed in the 1930s but still relevant today, the PPK represents German engineering excellence in its purest form. Pros: Elegant design with perfect balance between size and shootability. Fixed barrel design that provides exceptional accuracy for its size. Double action, single action system that's intuitive and reliable. All steel construction that absorbs recoil better than polymer alternatives. Cultural significance that transcends the firearms community. Cons: limited capacity by modern standards. .380 ACP is considered marginal for defensive use by some. Slide bite can be an issue for larger hands. Heavy for its size compared to modern alternatives. What makes the PPK special isn't just its bond connection or its historical significance, it's the timeless design. Nearly a century after its introduction, the core elements remain virtually unchanged because they were done right the first time. And with production having moved between Germany, France, and the US over the decades, original German-made examples have become increasingly valuable to collectors. If you've got a PPK, especially a pre-war or early post-war German-made example, hang on to it. These aren't just guns. They're pieces of history that continue to appreciate in both cultural significance and monetary value. Number 4. Colt 1911, Series 70. Just missing our top 3 at number 4 is American military history in steel form. The Colt 1911, specifically the Series 70 production. This isn't just a pistol, it's John Moses Browning's magnum opus. Serving as the U.S. military's official sidearm for over 70 years, the 1911 represents a perfect balance of form and function that has stood the test of time. Pros: legendary reliability when properly maintained, single-action trigger that's become the gold standard, .45 ACP provides excellent stopping power, simple design that's easy to maintain and customize, unmatched ergonomics that point naturally. Cons: limited capacity compared to modern designs, heavy by today's standards, requires more maintenance than some modern pistols, Series 70 firing system lacks some safety features of later models. What makes the Series 70 1911s special is that they represent the last of the original 1911 design before Colt introduced the Series 80 firing pin safety in 1983. Many purists consider the Series 70 trigger to be superior due to the absence of this additional safety mechanism. And with Colt's acquisition by CZ'd an uncertain production future, original Colt manufactured 1911s from the Series 70 era have become increasingly collectible. If you've got a genuine Colt Series 70 1911, especially one with government markings or in original condition with the box, keep it. These have consistently appreciated in value and represent a high watermark in American firearms manufacturing. Number 3. H&K MP5. Breaking into our top 3 at number 3 is what might be the most iconic submachine gun ever created, the H&K MP5. For civilians, we're talking about semi-auto variants like the SP5 or registered pre-86 transferable MP5s. Either way, these represent the pinnacle of German engineering in a compact package. Pros: legendary reliability with the roller-delayed blowback system, unmatched accuracy for a pistol-caliber carbine, smooth recoil impulse that keeps rounds on target, iconic slap-charging handle operation, cultural significance from countless movies and TV shows. Cons: extremely expensive in today's market, heavy compared to modern PCCs, limited modularity compared to newer designs, proprietary magazines. What makes civilian MP5 variants special isn't just their performance, though that would be enough, it's their increasing scarcity. H&K has historically been reluctant to offer civilian versions, making the ones that do exist highly sought after. And let's talk about transferable full-auto MP5s. These have been one of the best investments in the firearms world, period. Models that sold for $5,000 to $8,000 in the 1990s now regularly command $40,000 to $60,000. If you've got any variant of the MP5, whether it's a rare pre-89 import, a registered SEER, or a modern SP5, hold on to it. These aren't just guns, they're blue-chip investments disguised as firearms. Number 2. AR-15 Pre-Band Colt Sporter. Just missing the top spot at number 2 is a firearm that represents a specific moment in American gun legislation, the pre-1994 ban Colt Sporter AR-15. This isn't just another AR, it's a configuration that you literally cannot manufacture new today due to various state and import restrictions. Features like bayonet lugs, flash hiders, and original Colt markings make these stand out from modern production. Pros: original Colt quality from when they were the primary AR-15 manufacturer. Features that cannot be reproduced on new manufacture rifles. Historical significance related to the 1994 AWB, exceptional reliability and accuracy, proper military spec parts and construction. Cons: older barrel profiles are heavier than modern designs, limited aftermarket compatibility with some newer components, a 1-2 sights less versatile than modern optic systems, collectible status makes them less practical for regular use. What makes pre-ban Colts special isn't just their configuration, it's their historical significance. These represent the standard against which all other AR-15s were measured for decades. And with states like California, New York, Massachusetts, and others implementing their own bans on various features, original pre-94 rifles have a grandfathered status that makes them increasingly valuable. If you've got a pre-ban Colt Sporter, especially with original documentation and in unfired condition, that's not just a rifle. That's a time capsule that continues to appreciate in value every year. Number 1. Smith & Wesson Pre-Lock Revolvers. Taking our top spot at number 1 are what many consider to be the last of the classic Smith & Wesson revolvers, the pre-internal lock models. In 2001, S&W began adding an internal locking mechanism to their revolvers, forever changing the clean lines of their classic designs. This created an instant dividing line in the collector market, with pre-lock models becoming increasingly desirable. Pros: clean frame design without the lock hole, generally better fit and finish than modern production, pinned barrels on older models for superior strength, hand-fitted actions with smoother triggers, historical significance as the last of the classic S&W revolvers. Cons: older design features like shorter extractors on some models may lack modern sight options. Wood grips can be less practical than modern synthetics. Limited parts availability for some components. What makes pre-lock S&W special isn't just the absence of the lock, though purists certainly prefer this. It's that they represent the end of an era in American revolver manufacturing. These were the last models made before cost-cutting measures and corporate changes began to affect quality. The difference is particularly noticeable in premium models like the Model 29, 27, 19, and 686. The older examples feature hand polishing, fitting, and attention to detail that modern production methods simply can't match at scale. If you've got pre-lock S&W revolvers, especially premium models with 4-inch or 6-inch barrels in original condition, hold on to them. These aren't just guns. They're pieces of American manufacturing history that continue to appreciate in both value and desirability. So there you have it, 20 firearms you should absolutely never sell. Whether for their historical significance, increasing scarcity, superior craftsmanship, or investment potential, each of these represents something special in the firearms world. If you've got one of these in your safe, congratulations! You own something that's likely to continue appreciating both in value and in historical significance. And if you're in the market, well, now you know what to look for. Let me know in the comments which of these you own, or which ones you think I missed. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Until next time, shoot straight and collect wisely.